everyone, it's Tammy, and I'm going to be using the Season Like Christmas stamp set. This is a really cute stamp set from Stampin' Up. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. My website is below. If there's anything that you'd like to purchase, you're more than welcome to shop 24/7. And we're going to get started using this Season Like Christmas, and I know that this is my 8th card using this and showing you guys, but I love this stamp set. It is beautiful, and it's quick, and it's easy, and it's fun, and I can't get any better than that. So I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm just crisping up the edge, and I actually, just so you guys know, when I scored it the first time, I scored it in the wrong spot, so you can probably see that line. But I did not fold it there. I folded it in the correct spot after I noticed that I'd done that. So what I'm going to do is that's going to be the front of my card, and then I'm lining it with, well, not lining it, but putting, adding a piece of Designer Series paper. This one is a foiled one that we have, or had. I'm not even sure if it's still available, but I'm putting this down right on top. And then really, it's not that noticeable as long as it doesn't fold on that fold, you're fine. So I just kind of wanted you guys to see how I fix some of my mistakes, because this is crafting in real life. And then I'm going to put my tree on here, and I'm going to put my sentiment on here, and then I'm also going to use some ribbon, I believe, or something. Ooh, I just came up with a different idea. I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it a little differently. Okay. So I'm going to use this first, and I'm going to use our 2 green colors that I've been using, the Always Artichoke and the Garden Green, and then I'm also going to be using the chocolate chip for my tree trunk. So I'm going to go ahead and get that out too. So I'll do those 3 first. I'm going to put this up here so I don't get anything on it. Take the first stamp, which is the one with the most on it, and so you want the fullest stamp and the lightest color ink, and stamp that down. Clean it off with my Stampin' scrub over here, and then I want the second stamp, which is the one with the second most amount of stuff on it, and my darkest ink, because you want to build it up from lightest to darkest. If you started with the dark, you wouldn't be able to see the light by the time you were finished. So you want to start with the light and then build it up with the dark, and see what kind of a cool effect that is. And I'm just now realizing how I'm getting fingerprints on this. I'm sticking my hand in my mat when I'm cleaning it off, and it gets on my finger, and then when I'm holding it down, that's what I'm doing. I was kind of wondering how I was getting all that on there. Then I'm going to use my tree trunk. And lots of times it's brown that it looks like my fingerprint is, and I'm like, how in the world? It's not like I stuck my hand in the brown, but it makes sense that it would be brown with all of the mixing of the colors. So I just need to be careful not to stick it in there. So there's that, and then I wanted to also do the ground in this chocolate chip. But I just did a light ground because I don't know if it's ground or if it's snowy or, you know, muddy. I don't know what it is in my head, because I'm thinking right now I'm going to do something fun. So I think I'm done with all of these colors, except for maybe I'll use that one for the sentiment. And I'm just picking one of the sentiments out. Doesn't really matter to me which one it is, because they're both nice. There's 3 of them, but the 2 bigger ones. And then I'm going to put this back. There's also a to from on here, so you could easily make some tags, which would also be cute. I should probably do that. Now I'm going to take my trimmer, and I'm going to trim this down, because I see that I see that I really kind of should have done it a little straighter, but since I didn't, I'm just going to eyeball what straight is. And then I'm going to use that to to cut all 4 of the other edges, and I'm getting ink all around it, which is fine because I will fix it. So that one's really close. I really didn't want it to be that close to that, and it's still not straight. Good grief. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to stamp again. I wonder if I have any baby wipes. Oh, I do, thank goodness. Of course, they're dried up because I don't use them enough. But I can easily fix that with a little bit of water. I'm going to take one and use it to clean my hands right now, and then I'm taking another one and I'm going to put this on the cleaner so that when I'm sticking my hands over there in the future, I will use that instead of the mat. No wonder. I mean, I do get ink on my hands. I just don't need any extra help to do that. And I noticed that there's some delightful Dijon on this, so I'll just clean that up too. There we go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take that. I don't know if this is the same color or not. I don't even know if I'm grabbing the same sentiment. I think I am. But I'm going to be more careful this time and try to get it centered. Or at least straight. There we go. Well, I had figured out what was getting my hands all grimy. Because I was going, goodness gracious, Linus. No, Pigpen would be his name, wouldn't it? Okay, so then, that's right, I'm going to do something else. I only half had this thought out when I was doing it. So we have this white craft ink, which is by Stampin' Up. That's a good thing I got out of white because you kind of need wipes for this one. And I'll show you why here in just a second. But I'm going to take the little ornaments. And it looks like they're still kind of got some red in there. So let me clean that off really good. Yes, there was some red in there. So I don't want to get that on my white. That red ink stains really badly, but some of it isn't stained. Some of it was just leftover ink. So just get all that up if you have any. And then put it in your craft white. And you got to get it kind of good. And there's something in my craft white. Looks like a piece of cardstock. Okay, and then you stick it on the tree or where, you know, whatever. This happens to be a tree. I'm doing this one. And it does that. Isn't that cool? So only thing I recommend when you're using Whisper or when you're using the craft ink is that you clean it with a baby wipe instead of your cleaner, because if you use the scrub, it turns it white and or whatever color craft ink you're using, and then when you go to clean a different stamp, it gets that ink onto the stamp you're trying to clean. So you can see it's like very subtle, but it's kind of cool. It's a neat little feature. I am also going to take my Wink of Stella and I'm going to go over all of these just to kind of make them shine or sparkle. Alrighty, and then I have these glitter snowflakes from Target Dollar Spot. I think they were from last year. But I am going to use them for this card. So let's see. I'm going to try to figure out what I want with this first. This and this. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm not going to use a ribbon. I like ribbons. I love ribbons, but sometimes putting them in the mail, it's not the best choice. The knot, when you do a bow or even a knot, it sometimes gets caught in the mail, and sometimes they return it telling you need more postage or whatever. So, okay, then I'm going to take my glue dots, and I'm just going to glue dot snowflakes down, or stick the glue dot on my finger, whichever. And check your stash and see what kinds of things you have, and then use them, because it's so much fun to use. I think it's fun to use up things that you have forgotten about, or you just hadn't used yet, or whatever. I think it's fun to actually use them. I used to be really bad about that, and I'm still not the best. Like sometimes if it's the last thing, I'm like, oh, I don't want to use that, it's my last one. But then why am I saving it? I mean, if I want to use it, just enjoy it. So I have to remind myself of that often. But I do like, I mean, I love to make cards and stuff, and I love to send them to people, so use it. It is okay. There we go. I think that turned out really cute. So there is card number 8, I guess, using this stamp set. And I hope that you guys are having fun and enjoying these, because I really am. And I appreciate all of you. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.